What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Maya if this is your very first time here. So today we have another Basic Babe installment. If you do not know, I do have a series called Basic Babe where we only use 5 to 6 products to create a full face. Sometimes they're gonna be natural, sometimes they're gonna be full glam, and obviously today we going full glam. It is a fall full glam look, and I did use, hold up, let me count. 6 products today, which includes the lip, to create this look. But it does not include our don't count list, which y'all already know the tea, but if you don't, you're about to find out. Before we hop into it, please make sure that you hit subscribe below if you have not yet, so that you are updated when new videos come out. Also, make sure that you hit that notification bell as well, so that you are updated when new videos go up. All right, my loves, let's do this. We're back with another Basic Babe video. It's been a second since I have done another one in this series. So, real quick for the rundown, for those of you guys who do not know, let's go through the rules. Or should I call them disclaimers? Are they rules or disclaimers? Either way, sis, this is what it is. There are certain things that do not count in our Basic Babe series. That is brows, primer, and then if we wear a lip gloss. If it is a lip color, then it does count, but if it's a lip gloss, don't count. Also, lashes / mascara does not count. I know. Some of y'all be dragging me for this, but it is what it is. For my brows today, I am going to use my Total Temptation brow definer, and this is from Maybelline. We are kind of using some drugstore products today. Let me just go ahead and get my brows together too, y'all, because I got some extra hair. I got a little tail on my brow now. Y'all see? Yeah, you know, usually I cut it straight like that, don't have anything, but I was like, let me just see what happens. And it's got a little shape now. So the focus of today's Basic Babe video is gonna be heavily on being able to use multiple products in multiple ways, you know, because especially for you guys who are beginners, or even if you're not a beginner, anybody that doesn't want to reach for a whole lot of stuff or is looking for like everyday looks, I feel like it's really important when you can grab like one product and use it in like 2 or 3 different ways. That way you limit how many products you're actually using, but you still get the effect of a full face. And in my 2 previous Basic Babe videos, which I will link the playlist here at the top, sis, you can check that out. But I didn't do a lot of repurposing, and I wanted that to be kind of our focus today, because girl, the products can add up real quick when you're doing a full face of makeup, sis, and we ain't got the time. It is wild that I low-key have brows now. That is wild. Does anybody know me in college? Sis, I had no brows. High school too. They've been gone since I was 14 years old. I started early. The 2 products today that we are going to be using in multiple places is our bronzer as well as a highlighter. So for that reason, we are gonna wait to purpose those in other ways later on, and we're gonna start with the face. I am gonna go into my all-nighter face primer, and this is from Urban Decay. And if anybody is looking for a primer that really helps your makeup to stay all day, honey, this is the holy grail of those. Definitely make sure you check this one out if that is something you're looking for. Yeah, my new ring light is so bright. I keep having to like turn it down. Girl, it's gonna blind a sister, as if I wasn't already blind with my negative 7.5 prescription. I know, girl. I know. So I want to use a BB cream today. It's very hard these days. Well, actually, it's a lot better than it used to be, but now there are BB creams that are our complexion. However, I have yet to find a really super deep one. Let me know in the comments if you have found one and you got some, because please let the girls know in the comments. We need all the recommendations that we can get. I don't know everything. So I'm gonna use the Maybelline Dream BB Fresh, and this is a skin hydrating beauty balm. And this is in the shade 140 Deep Sheer Tint. And for me, this is an amazing color. I really do love this BB cream. And I just use it as a foundation. So, you know, it really depends on what you like. I don't know if you guys like BB creams, but if you do like it, I feel like this is a good option. It's coverage, but it's buildable coverage. So if you're a person that doesn't like a whole lot of crazy coverage, then this would be the perfect thing for you. The good thing about it is that it is buildable coverage. So if you want a little bit more coverage and you want your face to be like snatch, really cover up your imperfections and everything like that, then this is also a good option for you as well. And if you notice, I did wait to sculpt out my brows because I wanted to just use all of the products that we're using one time. and that just be the end of it. So that is why I didn't do it yet, because I'm about to do that now with concealer. So we are going to keep it consistent with Maybelline concealers. Here's a question. Y'all let me know, because I actually I'm not going to use the darker one. No. But in our Basic Babe series, when we're using one product, does multiple shades of that product count? Like concealers in different shades? Maybe this is 2 different. It's not 5 or 6 steps. I'll say this is 2 different steps, but it's the same product. It is. I mean, that's just facts. I don't know, I do want to keep this as simple as possible for you guys, but I just thought about that, especially like also when you're dealing with powders and you're doing like a skin tone powder versus a lighter powder to set. Like, is that 1 product or 2? Let me know in the comments. I'm interested in knowing, so that, you know, I don't need y'all going off on me in the future in this series and be like, Maya, girl, that 5 products turned into 7 and 8 and 9 real quick. Let me know. For now, we're gonna go on the safe side and we're gonna use just 1 concealer shade. This is in the shade 45 Tan in the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. And we are going to put in our normal areas. I'm also dotting this underneath my brows because I do want to sculpt my brows out. And we're gonna do a little forehead action as well. So first, I'm just gonna go in and I'm going to blend out the concealer on the face before I sculpt out the brows. And you guys know that if you do let your concealer sit a little bit longer, it does get thicker and gives you more coverage, especially if you are using less products. Let it sit for 1 second, let it get a little air. And then it's gonna look like you actually put on more product than you actually did. And I tested that out in my Jackie Aina video, and it was a banger. I'm gonna take my normal colored Raine brush to sculpt my brows. Okay, so I did say that we are attempting to use everything in one go, so I am gonna go ahead and prime our eyelids a little bit with some concealer. And for those of you guys who aren't big about like eyeshadow or anything on the eyes in general, this is a stopping point for your eyes. Hit it with some concealer, make sure it's not too light. Set it with some translucent powder that is your skin complexion. It can be translucent if you're lighter skinned or, you know, more fair skinned, but if you are a brown lady, some skin tone powder and you good. You have a nice clean blended lid and just concealer and powder. But yeah, now we are good on the face. I'm going back into my foundation brush just to make sure that the lighter concealer is blended into my skin and that I don't have no lines of demarcation. Y'all know that it's not the move in any way, shape, or form. Never. So we are not going to use our darker one because I don't know what answer you guys are gonna give me, and I'm kind of leaning more towards it is being like 2 products just because it's being used in different ways. I don't know, it's just, it don't feel right to me. It doesn't feel as right as my don't count list. It feels kind of pushing it. So now we're gonna go into powder. Okay, I don't know. If you wanna go for 1 powder, here's what I'm gonna say. Put me on record saying this. If you are a brown skin lady and you use a skin tone powder like a brown or a deeper shade, if you're going for more of a chill type of beat look, you know, not the super highlighted underneath and you know, all that, then you can use this all over the face. Lightly, where you low-key want to be lighter, but if you don't, it's not a big deal. If you do want to be lighter, use more of a translucent or I'm sorry, I don't mean lighter as in lighter complexion. I mean like when we highlight areas of our face, under our eyes, down our nose, on our forehead, places we want to highlight is what I mean by lighter. Please don't mix that up. That is not what I meant. But if that is your jam, then you can definitely use a lighter powder and set how you usually do, and then do a real light dusting of the face around to set everything. So it is really a personal preference. You don't have to use both. I want a little bit of a highlight, so we're gonna go lighter. The Prime Beauty, you guys know I've used their bronzer so many times, and I might even pull the bronzer out to use today, but they just came out with setting powders. So this is their locked in loose powder. This is in the shade Honey Love, and then they do have one that's deeper, and this is in the shade Golden Gal. So before I go in with the powder, I always make sure I get rid of my creases. Y'all know I do this on almost every video. I'm gonna go into Honey Love, my regular way of setting. Press it in, press it on my hand to get off the excess, and push it into the under eye. That's why when I used to take clients, I would have them look up when I'm blending out their under eye, as well as when I'm set. I'll be like, look, just look up until I tell you to stop looking up. Just to help keep this nice and smooth so we don't set those lines in. I'm flipping this because I did get some more creases on my eyes, but I actually want to set my eyes just a little bit to keep that in place. And then I'm going to take a big fluffy brush and go into a light, very light layer of this. I'm gonna blow it off just to set everything and make it not so transferable. So next we are going to hit it with some bronzer. Since we use the Prime Beauty powder, I am gonna go ahead and use the Prime Beauty bronzer, and this is in Brownsville. Just gonna go around and add some warmth. I'm gonna do it on one side so you can kind of see the effect. I've done this before, but I feel like some people don't see the importance of bronzers, or like, girl, what does it even do, you know? So just to show you guys. Before we do the whole face, if you see this side is bronzer, this side is not, we kind of just have a more warm outline of the face. Looks more like we got makeup on, versus this side is just very flat and dull. So key, a contour and just a warming of the skin. So bronzer can also be used to what? Contour the nose, sis. Y'all know I always love to contour the nose. So I am gonna take some bronzer to sculpt out my nose, especially since we didn't use a darker concealer. This will work as well. Y'all know I always go over my nose contour with a bronzer anyway, versus like a contour palette or something like that. Bronzer as a contour type of feel, even though it's not a contour, is a great alternative. However, laying it on top of liquid product is what makes it last longer. You know, that liquid or cream product underneath is what gives it like the durability to last throughout the day or whatever it is you got going on. So that's why we do that, and then set it with powder on top to keep it in place and to just keep it looking the same way throughout the day. Especially if you're short on time or you just ain't into, you know, all the products, you ain't down with the okie doke, then very, very good alternative to just keep it nice, quick, and simple and easy. Now, I know we're on bronzer, but really quick, another thing that you can do with your powder, if you are longing for like that really chiseled look, then you can go ahead and use your powder for that. And I'm gonna take more of a flatter brush, dip it into my powder, and go right underneath that. Now, I usually like to use a skin tone powder for this, but if you're light enough on the powder and just start to dust it across and not let it sit for too long, then it works just fine with the translucent or a banana type of powder. But you always want to go towards the edge of your mouth. That's how it's gonna look most natural. You can maneuver and, you know, play with it a little bit with your sponge, but yes, sis. That's what we got. Let's get back to bronzer, but it's kind of like you can't do that until after you do your bronzer, because you gotta have like that deeper shade already there to really create that effect. So that's why we did that. Don't be going off on me and what I said at the beginning. I know what I said, but it's fine. It's fine. We good. All right, so back to our bronzer. We are going to also use bronzer on the eyes as well. I'm gonna take a blending brush, and this is my Colourpop E12 brush. And this is just a nice fluffy blending brush. And I'm going to go and dip into my powder. And I wanna do kind of like a halo eye, super duper easy. Or maybe I shouldn't say a halo eye, more of a spotlight eye. So I'm going to just dip into it, and in circular motions, I'm gonna go on both sides of my lid. Matter of fact, Maya, I'm tripping. Come on, y'all. All right, my bad, y'all. Sometimes I just be on a roll. Both sides of the eye is where I'm going to put this shade, just in circular motions. And if you don't have experience with a lot of eyeshadow, I would recommend not using a brush that's this fluffy. No. I would recommend using one that's a little smaller. So maybe one like this, you know, just something smaller. It's where you have more control of where you're putting the color, and that way it kind of stays where you put it. Versus this is real easy for this to like get way more spread out than we want it to be. But yeah, this, I feel like a spotlight eye is one of the most easiest things to do for beginners, because it looks like it's not for beginners. You know, it look like you know what you're doing, even though it was super easy, you know? And a really beautiful thing, because the first person I've ever saw use bronzer on the eyes was Shayla, Makeup Shayla. And I loved when she did. I fell in love with it because I just felt like it brought the whole face together, you know, with the same shade that's outlining the face that's also on the eyes. I was like, girl, You own to something with that. I know other people probably have done that before, but when she did it and being, you know, another woman of color, I was like, that's it. I'm gonna take a flat brush and go into my bottom lash line with this as well, since this is gonna be the end of using our bronzer. So our last step, which is for the face as well as for the eyes, before we go into our lips and our lashes, which the lashes don't count, just to give you a quick reminder, sis, is highlighter. Depending on what look you want to what you're going for, you can decide. I really wanna lean more towards a gold shade just because I love a gold highlight on the face, especially for fall time, a nice deep copper type of highlighter. So I think I am gonna go ahead and use this. I'm gonna actually take my finger and see the kind of payoff that I do get with this, to just put it right in the middle of our eye, just to get like a cute, like bronzed look. The thing is with the finger is you do want to bring it up a little bit, but you know, the finger isn't as precise as a brush can be. See, because look, I'm already getting it in places where I didn't want it to be. I didn't add any extra product to this, but I'm just going in with the bronzer brush to clean up what I just did. On the other eye, I'm gonna take like a flat shader brush and place it right there in the middle of the lid. I wouldn't recommend using a brush that's super precise for this. Something that's a little more fluffy, because this is a shader brush. It's flat, but it also kind of has some fluff to it. And I have mentioned this before as like an easy beginner's eyeshadow combination or formula of how to do it. This spotlight eye is just super easy. It's like really hard to fail at the spotlight eye. But what you do want to do with the spotlight eye is make sure that it is blended at the top. You do want it to go over your physical crease if you have hooded eyes, but you know, it ends up looking really pretty, but you got to make sure it is blended and that the color and the shimmer doesn't just start out of nowhere. So since we're still focusing on highlighter, I'm gonna go ahead and highlight the rest of my face before I go into my lashes, but they are drying right now. I feel like it's so cool that you can use these two products in these two different ways. I feel like it just makes your face just look and feel more pulled together. Now, one thing that I feel like would make this even more diverse is if you have like a highlighter palette. That way you can go into a different shade like on your eyes versus your highlight on your actual face. You know, if you want to add some variety, you don't have to, but I think that, you know, with using the same amount of products, that would be something that you could do. Using palettes in general is great. Face palettes, blush palettes, all of that is super helpful. So last but not least, we are going to be using kind of like a liner for lips, especially in the days that we are in now where we have to wear masks. I think that wearing a lip liner as a lip is a great idea. Especially if you don't want to deal with the dryingness of like liquid lipsticks. Using something that is like a creamy liner, I think is perfect. Yes, a little bit of it will rub off in your mask, but sis, you know, whatever. That's the times we living in. That's the problems we have, 2020 problems. But I say to not have to deal with a lot of that dryness and stuff. Our liner is cool. Y'all know I always use this Nabla liner. I did use this on an IG video last week and y'all love that chocolate lip. So I really kind of just want to bring that into this as well. Anytime you are gonna use like a liner, like a cream stick or something for your lips, I would definitely recommend making sure you are nice and moisturized underneath first. Girl, if not, you're gonna have some problems. And don't be coming back blaming me. I am going to use this today. This is my Nabla Cupid's Arrow Full Color Stylo Pencil, and this is in Arrow number 2. And I am gonna line the lips first and then fill them in. And I feel like adding like, you know, some lip gloss or something really, you know, sheer underneath to moisturize kind of helps it to turn into a lipstick anyway. And I don't know if you guys know, but some of Nabla's products are sold on the Morphe website. I do have a Morphe code in the description box. So if that's something you guys are interested in, make sure you check out Nabla on the Morphe website. Because I have had a few of you guys reach out to me and say, girl, their website is in Italian. What am I supposed to do? That is a good resource if you guys are interested in Nabla, because I love them. And now we have a beautiful brown lip and a nice like fall glam type of look, but she basic. Okay, we ain't use a whole bunch of stuff. We just used a nice little handful of things. I can fit in both of my hands everything that is on our face right now. And I feel like that's really, really cool because, okay, we can also fit the other things that don't count. But the point is, we didn't use a whole lot of stuff. This can go in one makeup bag, travel with you. You know what I'm saying? If you like carry like a big bag, then it's not a problem for touch-ups and everything like that. But it definitely looks like we have on like a full face of makeup. Like we got on every product is what it looks like. And that is the purpose of our Basic Babe series. One thing I think I forgot to mention is that I did put mascara on my bottom lash line. I didn't go in with any liner or anything at the bottom either. So just to let y'all know, and mascara and lashes don't count. All right, y'all, let's wrap this up. So this is our Basic Babe tutorial of the day. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video and that you got a little bit of pointers here and there. You might already know a lot of this stuff, but girl, you know, I just like to talk. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up. Comment below, let me know what you thought. Also, make sure that you hit subscribe below, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.